Welcome. Join me on this bike ride while I talk about an adventure. 5 years ago, COVID-19 shut down the world. I remember online classes, masks everywhere, social distancing, but most of all, I remember isolation. I felt disconnected from everything during those years, unable to dig myself out of the rut that COVID helped to create. I had to find a way to keep my sanity. I used to think biking was a rather boring and tiresome activity. I was always inside, playing video games or otherwise not really engaging too much with being outside. Having just turned 14 years old going to school in the city and living with my dad, I did not think of outside very much. Then, as COVID shook down the world, I realized I hated being inside. The pictures on screen are dated April and May 2020, the beginning of the pandemic in my second hometown where my mom lived, a much more rural space. I saw the value of the town's bike path, where I have traveled across many times throughout turbulent times in my life. I began to appreciate biking, not only for getting me outside, but also as an ideal exercise. Now, I neglected to mention that I also went on a few vacations and trips during COVID. While they were nice getaways, they were very temporary and did not help my sanity for very long. I still needed something more permanent. It all came to a head at the start of my freshman year. I had just turned 15 years old, and I was going to a massive high school that was strictly online at first. This routine killed me. I really had to find out how my sanity was going to stay intact. So I kept going out. And then eventually, I started appreciating all the little things. This is about the point where I truly saw the value of what I was doing. For me, biking didn't just become adventurous. It also became an escape. My mental health was declining during this time, which might be something you've experienced as well. The online classes, the isolation, the uncertainties, it was driving me insane. But I found peace on my bike. Almost every day after my classes had concluded, I would take my bike and ride it a quarter mile from my house to the trails. Even the city can be picturesque if you find the right time and place. I would even enjoy riding through town on the roads and sidewalks. Every bike ride was an adventure in itself. I always saw or did something new when I would ride. Whether it was checking out a new park, looking at pretty scenery, or seeing something random way out of place. Like the one time I found a lawn chair down an embankment in the creek. By the time 2021 rolled around, COVID still had a grip on the world, but my school had decided to go all in with the hybrid schedule, which did not help me very much. So now I had to go to school physically, where I knew nobody, and still do online classes, and keep putting up with the struggles I mentioned earlier. It was a lethal combination. In the town where my mom lived, the bike trails led to patches of woods on the northern and southern tips, where the north side of the trail terminates at a creek and has several side paths made of dirt. And the south side of the trail sits next to some recreational areas and terminates at a farm field. These woods became my home for a long time. I know these woods very well. I've ridden my bike countless times over these windy trails. By no means are these patches of woods huge. They are rather small, but they may as well be my favorite places on Earth. Even the main trail itself sees much love from me. Next to the southern patch of woods is a small fishing pond with a dock that extends out nearly to the center of the pond. I consider this area to be the most photogenic on the trail. The sunsets here are always extremely pretty, no matter what the weather is. It just goes to show that there was always something that captivated me whenever I was out and about biking. This go-kart is one of the most interesting things I have found biking anywhere. Still as pretty as I remember it. During the twilight of COVID, or in my case, early 2022, I had fully accepted biking into my life. These are some of the last pictures I got before I moved away for the time being. There's a passage written by Nancy Mears that is very relevant to this time in my life. She said, quote, "Although my adventures, were not over, the nature of my adventures would have to change." How is this relevant to me? Well, when COVID hit, my regular routines were all thrown out the window and all but forgotten. My previous adventures were all virtual, all online and through a screen. Because the pandemic made me so discontent with being inside, discontent with life, and discontent with my mental health, I went outside instead, and I found one of the only places in the world that gives me true peace. Like Mares, I was limited by circumstances thrown at me, so I adjusted and made adventures for myself regardless. There's only one shot at this life. If you're like me, ambition stops at nothing. Even when life was against me at seemingly all points and scenarios, I still found a way to prosper. You can make the most out of any situation, as long as you find it in yourself, to keep at it, and find the thing that keeps you going. Now, as you can tell, this place is very much a home for me. And this is my first time biking around this town, around the paths, since 2022. This has been a great experience, and I would not trade anything else for this, to be back somewhere that has given me so much joy in the past. To finish off this video, I'd just like to say that if you think that there's nothing for you out in this world, there absolutely is, and it can be somewhere where you never think it would be. This place has taught me a lot of things. One thing it has taught me that's kept me going the most, well, it's just like whenever the path gets rough, I still keep going. And that's the biggest takeaway I've gotten from this.